Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's Friday the 28th of June. I'm heading home at about 5:30. And yes, I'm back from 2 weeks in Brazil. Everyone just trying to walk over me then. Oh, crikey. And it's a bit sunny in the UK. How did that happen? So yes, it's been a while since we did a vlog, isn't it? I survived anyway, the trials and tribulations of travelling to Brazil. It's not actually a journey I'd fancy doing again, not relatively soon anyway. It was a lot of travelling, a lot of planes. I had to get 3 flights anyway. Manchester Airport to Frankfurt, which was delayed, so I didn't have much time to then get my connecting flight to Brazil, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in fact. And Frankfurt Airport is frankly a complete nightmare. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And it was made considerably more annoying. Oh, shut up. Because I was late, and it was late at night, and I had to go hunting for this gate C. So you get off a plane and get on a bus to get to a terminal, to walk through the terminal trying to find where you want to get to, only to find out that you've got to get on another bus to get to the terminals you want. So after all this malarkey, and then I get off, and everyone else that I'm with goes towards A and B terminals one way, and I go to C, an entirely different way, up some stairs, and then along miles and miles and miles and miles of corridors that were deserted, no one but me walking along them. And I was like, this can only end bad, because you know the flight will be going soon. I just appear to be going nowhere. I'm going down some deserted corridor that could end at nothing, and then I'll just miss my flight and it'll be so. I just trailed along, getting more and more miserable. Then got to there was a security check when we got off the plane, before we got to one terminal bit. And then, there's a second security check at the end of all these corridors and things. And I'm thinking, why on earth do I need this? At this one, they decided they want to take my shoes off, so I'm going to take my shoes off. And put them through the X-ray thing. And all the time I'm thinking, well, this... So somehow I got there, made the flight, just literally walked on it because like there was no one waiting at all. So I got on the flight and yeah, got there. Finally got to Rio, then had to get an internal flight, and that was a bit of a malarkey as well in its own thing. So yes, so from setting off on the Tuesday afternoon, I actually arrived. And here he is. He's enjoying the sun, is the running mad. And dancing in it as well. Oh, what a man. So yeah, from Tuesday afternoon, now make sure I get this right, I got there on Wednesday. I did get there on Wednesday, that was right, yes. So I did manage to get there Wednesday. In about Wednesday midday. So in fact going there wasn't as bad as coming back. Coming back was a complete nightmare, because that was basically Thursday afternoon until I got back home on the Saturday night at nearly 9 o'clock. But I mean, immediately on the Thursday afternoon we had a 5-hour minibus drive to get back to Belo Horizonte from where we were in São Lourenço. But then, like Friday morning, I was up at 7 o'clock taxi to the airport to go wait for my plane at 11 AM from Belo to Rio. Then I get to Rio airport, and then I've got 10 hours to wait for the flight across to Frankfurt again. So I did that. I was like, sit around the airport for 10 hours. But at least I got my computer and it got Wi-Fi, so I did manage to do something vaguely useful while I was there. And then got to Frankfurt, and again I'm kind of worrying with transfer, so I'm trying to get through it. More security checks. Thanks Frankfurt for all the security checks. And would you believe that my flight from Frankfurt to Manchester was delayed an hour and a half? So rushing there and then couldn't do it anyway. Right, I'll go and drop my parcels and come back and do Mr. Nellis's words of wisdom. Okie doke, see you in a minute. Okay, back after that little break. So we'll do Mr. Nellis's words of wisdom, because I'm sure he's eager after all this time for me to do them. Oh, that was number 3 there, so he's done them in 2 parts rather awkwardly. It's a bit awkward, Mr. Nellis, because it means I have to do 2 emails. So, Mr. Nellis says, things to say on your vlog. 1, Pupmaster coin toss deciding on the first time on Monday morning. No idea what that's about. 2 means I've been to the Hepworth on Monday afternoon. Sounds nice. Lovely. Let's go back. Go to number 2 one. Number 3, John Prescott suffering a stroke. I didn't know that. That bit of news I've missed. 4 people saying sorry 8 times a day. Sorry. 5, IKEA moving on UK housing. What, they're going to do flat pack houses now, Mr. Nellis? Just nip to IKEA and pick up a house. Just shove it in the back of my car, it'll be right. Oh, there's lots of cars tonight. This is the trouble with coming back. Oh, shit. Sorry. Sorry! Bad language there. I hadn't noticed he was turning off. And then so I had to make a swift movement. I'm a bit wonky now. How's that happened? It's no good, is it? Oh, I'm wonky the other way now. This is bad news. I don't want to be wonky for the vlog. So, yes, I survived all the capacious travelling that occurred. I could have done with all it all though. It's not great, to be honest. 10 hours, well, 10 and a half hours to Frankfurt to Rio, the flight time. All right, you're doing it at night, so you can kind of sleep a bit. But to be honest, you don't really sleep in an aeroplane seat that well. And flying there, we hit a lot of turbulence for some reason, so I kept dozing off and then waking up because the whole plane was rattling and bouncing up and down like a loon, and there's kids screaming and all sorts. I'm like, oh, well, this is just what you need, isn't it? But yes, but actually Brazil was very good. Really enjoyed visiting all the coffee plantations, seeing the trees, seeing all the coffee cherries. I have so many pictures of coffee cherries you would not believe. And of views, meeting the farmers and farm workers, and yeah, it was really good. So I brought back loads of pictures. I learned a lot, especially about processing the coffee. So from the sort of harvesting the cherries, when they get them back to the farm, how they're drying them now in varying drying techniques, and also using fermentation techniques to enhance the flavour profile of the bean. Yeah, that was all very good, actually. Did about 800 miles in a minibus around Brazil. So, you know, we didn't just get to Brazil and stay in one place. All the plantations were spread out over quite a wide area. So, it was a lot of trucking about in a minibus, and you know, you stay in one place for a night, stay in one place a couple of nights, and then move on again.
Warning, risk zone.
So pretty much living out of your bag. I just about took enough stuff. I just had enough shirts to wear for one a day, and like a dress shirt to wear in an evening. I'm not gonna try and squeeze past there because it's too tight for my liking. And just enough underwear and socks as well, and that was about pretty much all I had. I didn't have a very big case as it was anyway, which was good actually, because you were travelling about, you got to hold the thing back and forth all the time, and I didn't want to be doing that. So yeah, so that bit went well, and yeah, that was it. It was lovely hot weather, which did make me giggle quite a lot because I kept getting notifications from the various weather apps telling me drizzle was starting in Bradford, heavy rain was starting in Bradford. I'm there, 25 degrees and brilliant sunshine, blue skies, and I'm looking, oh, it's raining in Bradford again. So I was expecting rain when I came back, but Saturday night it was all right actually when I got back, and Sunday I don't think Sunday was too bad. But then the rest of this week's not been so fantastic until yesterday. It's warmed up a bit. It's warm today. It's supposed to be hot tomorrow, and I'm going back to work to demonstrate a 1 kilo roaster. So that'll be fun. Going to be the hottest day of the year, and I'm going to be roasting coffee. Yay! But yeah, no, it's lovely now as well. Sunny. Don't know what the temperature is. I don't think it's too hot. It'd be nice to just sit out in the garden tonight and chill out. Obviously, it's been a busy week since I got back from Brazil. 10 days away. Got a lot to catch up on. A lot of roasting. I've done 4 days of roasting this week out of 5. Just trying to catch up on all the orders. So that was busy. And yeah, so yeah, that's it. It's been really busy back at work again, and yeah, and overall a good time had in Brazil. I say visited a lot of plantations. I don't think it's about 5 or 6 different plantations overall, so quite a lot of different areas to go around and look at and meet different farmers. But yeah, it was interesting. They're all kind of varying what they're doing and processing the coffees in different ways to get more effect from them, which is all. Ooh, hello, roadworks. Darn the roadworks. So, methinks aircon is needing. It's starting to warm up a bit in the car. Doesn't help to have a greenhouse for a roof, does it? So yeah, so first farm we visited, which I was really impressed with actually. Owned by a farmer called Bruno de Souza, and he's actually got he has a cafe in Belo Horizonte. So on the first night, because we stayed in Belo, that's where we landed, the airport we landed at, and we all met up at. We went to his cafe. It's called Academia de Caf. So it's a coffee shop, and also his roastery and coffee training centre. So he does a lot of cupping training there, Q grader trading, that sort of thing. So so that was really good. We went to see that they had some of his coffees there and chat with him, and then we drove up to his actual farmhouse and stayed the night in his farmhouse actually, which was really nice. But we got to see all his workers, see the machine doing the picking. They have quite a lot of machine picking crops in Brazil, mainly because the land's pretty flat, so they can get away with using mechanical picking. Except we went to a shade growing area, which is obviously covered by trees, and that one, of course, they have to do manual picking because the machines can't go there because the trees are in the way. But also sometimes some of the plantations still had manual picking because some were on quite hilly areas and just wouldn't suit a machine. But yeah, it's just been apparently a really strange year for the coffee plantations, because they had a number of sort of wet, rainy seasons. So every time they have an extended period of rain, the coffee plants think it's time to flower. That's like a trigger for the coffee plant that it's time to flower, and then it'll produce cherries after it flowers, of course. So these periods of rain that they had, which is very unusual, they wouldn't normally have, caused about 3 or 4 different flowerings of the coffee trees, and consequently they've ended up with lots of fruits at different stages. Some on the tree, as we were out there, had actually dried on the tree. It had gone red, you know, reached its optimum redness, and then dried out on the tree, and it was like a dry cherry. Then you've got red cherries which are ripe and ready to pick. Then you've got various stages of green ones which aren't really ready yet and need longer. So of course that's quite complicated for them, because I mean, they're having to harvest the dried cherries just because they've done, you know, I think they've been leaving it so long to try and get more of the greens through, that, you know, the first lot of ripe reds are then dried out. But they're actually, normally they wouldn't be good, but apparently this year they're saying that he thinks that those dried cherries are going to be a really good coffee. They'll get them a good high cup score from it. So they've been sort of separated off through a water bath treatment, because the dried ones float, so they can put them in a tank, and the red ones and the more matured green ones that have fallen, which are near enough ripe, they'll be all right. They sink to the bottom of this tank and they go off one way, and then the dried ones which float, they're separated off another way and can go off just to be dried on the patio beds. So yeah, it's been interesting. All the farmers were having this same sort of problem, that they'd got very mixed beans, and all were trying to deal with it in different ways. So one farm I went to at the end, they were manual picking, and they're on the like 6th run of the same plantation picking cherries. So literally because they're just sort of ripening in phases, they're going through picking the red ones and then going back and picking the next lot of red ones, and going back and picking the next one, you know, so always leaving the green ones so they will continue to ripen in the sun, and then when they're ready, the next run get those, as it were. So but I think it's going to be an interesting coffee crop. So I picked a couple of farms that I definitely want to buy coffee from, that I can have, you know, to roast and sell, and also of course it'll be nice because I've got an actual story about the farm to tell people, having been there. Oh, try not to run the old lady over. What's the bus doing? Is it sitting? Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That was my trip to Brazil. I obviously done plenty of blog posts on Steemit about it. Going to be doing some on the White Rose Coffee Roasters website about it, blog posts about it, and generally getting as much leverage as I can from random people everywhere. Yeah, so making use of all the pictures I've taken, and getting as much promotion as I can, hopefully. What are these lot doing now? I wonder if they're getting their IKEA flat pack housing. So, oh, Colby's out on his own. I wonder what he's up to. Oh, I love it when everyone parks right in my way. Bikes everywhere, kids everywhere, vans everywhere, people everywhere. Oh, so There you are, I'm back. I'm sure no one missed my vlog for 2 weeks. I keep getting the mickey taken out of me by my boys' friends. They're going to make a meme out of me apparently, saying, "Hello, I've been shopping." That's going to be the meme they want to make. So, we'll see what happens anyway. Right, that's it, I'm going in. So, have a good weekend and week next week, and I'll catch you in next week's coffee vlog, which will definitely take place. See ya!